Hello, in this video I'm going to react to KCL versus LSE in the London Zone final. Okay, the footage starts partway through the match, so I'm just going to go through the video and highlight some key areas of improvement. Okay, so I paused it in the first LSE raid and I just want to talk through the positioning of the KCL defense. I think the corner chain are positioned quite well. Ideally the corner wants to be far back from the raider, so as if the raider makes one step towards them, the corner doesn't feel threatened and they stay in their position. So that's the ideal distance the corner wants to be. I think the cover could be out a bit more. I don't think they're very threatening in the position that they're in at the moment. Finally, the corner and the in, I think they're bent down too much. They need to be a bit upright because they're making it easy for the raider to like hand touch their head or their shoulder. So they just want to be a bit more upright. And also the gap between them is a bit too large. So if the raider wanted to, they could get a bonus in between the corner and the in. So ideally the in just moves over a little bit, and then the cover here, the cover that's not active, just moves over a little bit as well, just so that there's no gap in between the in and the left cover. Okay, I've just paused it where the raider goes for the bonus. There's two reasons why. One is the gap between in and the left cover. So if the left cover just moves over slightly, then that gap wouldn't be there and it would be much harder to get the bonus. But then also the cover is quite far back, so the raider doesn't feel threatened and so has like a free attempt at the bonus. And then I've just paused it where the raider goes for the kick, which is fantastic raiding. But yeah, just the corner and the inner bent down too much, and so that the head and the shoulder are like quite inviting for a touch. So they just need to be a little bit more upright, and then you'll be able to dodge any kicks that come in. You can see, as in the first raid, the corner's quite bent down, which means his head's quite far forwards and makes it an easy like target. So the corner should just be a bit more upright and be careful about a hand touch coming for their head or their shoulder. Okay, I've just paused it partway through the raid, and the raider's playing in front of the left cover and then slightly in front of the in as well. In this position, the corner wants to come out a bit more. They need to be about here, and that's just so that they're putting pressure behind the raider, and so the raider would naturally want to go towards the cover, and then your right cover can come out a bit and be a bit more threatening. Right now it seems like the raider's quite happy to be here and will be able to make a free attempt at getting a hand touch or a bonus. Also, if the corner's like shadowing the raider here, then there will also be an opportunity for like a back hold if they're in the right position, but because they're quite far back at the moment, there's not really an opportunity to go for a back hold. I've just paused it where the raider goes for like a bonus touch and actually gets like a touch on the in here, and you can see that the cover's a bit far back, and so like the raider's not very threatened by the cover, and also the corner's right in the corner. If the corner was like a bit more active and a bit more behind the raider, then these two combinations will mean like the raider will be too scared to like go for a bonus or a touch on the in. So just something to bear in mind. Okay, in this raid, Tahir goes for a touch on the in, and then the corner goes for a great back hold on the raider, but unfortunately the raider makes it across the midline. But it was a really good back hold from the corner. I would just like to see the opposite corner and the cover just be a bit more active. So by that I mean like being on their toes, bouncing about, being more threatening to the raider, and it will mean that the raider will be a bit too scared to maybe go for the in, and also they'll be ready to support any good tackle that comes in. So the left corner makes a great tackle here. Unfortunately the raider was not aware of the danger. So when the raider's in this position, the main danger is the left cover coming for a block or a dash, and then the left corner coming around and also going for a block, and then the other corner might go for ankle hold as well. But really the attention for the raider should be on the cover and the opposite corner. I think the tackle from right corner was decent, and they went quickly and went for the block. Right in was a little bit slow to support, so they want to be going together, and then they want to be right in the face of the raider. So you don't want to wait for the raider to come to you. As a pair, you need to go straight to the raider and block them off before they even have a chance to react. So if I play it in slow motion, you'll be able to see why the delay creates this gap for the raider to escape like this. So the corner goes, the right in slow to go, and so that creates this gap here, and then the raider escapes. Okay, there's a few mistakes that happened on this raid, and the first is actually not really to do with the match at all, but the pre-match tactics. And that is when the corner is out, who plays corner? And so it's actually the left cover that's playing left corner. So the left cover is slow to move into their position. So that's the first thing to highlight. And so great raiding by the LSE raider to go for the bonus while the defense are still sorting out their positions. And the reason why the raider then gets the in is because the in is backpedaling, and so they're running backwards when they should be sidestepping backwards. To highlight this, just watch how Tahir goes back, and then watch how the in goes back. You can see that Tahir sidesteps 1, 2, 3 times, and then just watch how the in goes back. And then finally the in's very slow to get up, and so can't force the raider away from the rest of the players, and so the raider goes for like another hand toe. So here the left corner goes to follow and then block the raider around here. The reason they weren't able to pull it off was because they were just a bit slow to follow, because the left corner was actually going backwards whilst the raider started to go to the other side. Also, one more point is by going around like this and then making the block, does take a bit of time, so instead the corner could have ran straight and then made the block, and that would have saved a little bit more time. So here I think the raider's being really good and being active and trying to make the defenders make a mistake, and they almost got the right corner to make a mistake, but then the right corner goes for like a brilliant leg hold, and the raider was caught in two minds whether to like block it or escape, and It was a really good tackle. Okay, so here the left corner makes a really great block, and then the support comes in from in and the opposite corner, and so it was a great tackle all round. The only slight improvement is that the corner waits for the raider to come to them. Ideally, the corner actually goes to the raider and makes the tackle like right in their face. So here, ideally, the corner actually goes into the raider and makes the block here, but instead they wait a bit and make the block here. So sometimes what can happen is that the raider will get enough momentum to go through the block and reach the midline, which is the only reason why you want the corner to be more active and go straight into the raider rather than wait. But nonetheless, good technique and good block. So raider gets another great bonus. So again, the gap between the in and the corner is too big. So this gap needs to be reduced. So the in needs to move over slightly towards the corner, and then the left cover needs to move over towards the in as well to reduce this gap here. Also, the cover needs to be out a bit more, so they need to be a bit more threatening. And then finally, the corner and the in are like behind the bonus line. They're not really defending the bonus line. Ideally, they're like on the bonus line, being a bit more threatening for the ankle hold if they do go for it. So here the KCL defense much better position. The cover's out a bit more, and so the raider feels very threatened even to go past the bulk line. The in and the corner could be like forward a little bit more. I feel like they're too behind the bonus line to like really defend against, but great position from the cover, and then the corner might be a little bit too close, but I think they're okay. So in this raid, the cover is actually now too far back. I don't know if they're scared of this raider in particular, but if they were a bit more here and then supported the tackle, it might have been made. Also, the corner should have come and supported as well, but they didn't. So in this raid, the raider gets a hand touch on the cover here. And the way this can be prevented is actually from the corner position. So the issue here is that the corner pair are too close to the raider. This sounds a bit counterintuitive, but what happens is the raider makes one step and then the corner feels threatened, and so they make a step back as well. And because the raider sees the corner going backwards, they can make a free attack on the cover and know that the corner is not in a position to tackle. So how to prevent this is that the corner needs to be a bit further back, say here, and when the raider makes one step towards them, they don't move and the cover moves back one step. And because the corner doesn't move, the raider will feel like the corner wants to make a tackle, and so the raider won't go for the cover, and then when they make the second move, that's when you start moving back. So the corner is just a little bit too close to the raider here. So here the raider will make a run straight to this pair and then get a hand touch on the corner, and I think the way to prevent this is the right corner needs to follow the raider a lot more closely, and when the raider steps this way, the corner should step with them, and So why they should do that is then the right corner will be in a better position to support the tackle when it does come in. And here, because of the previous raid where the corner didn't follow the raider knows they can just go straight to this position here, get the hand touch on the left corner and go out without even like being threatened of a tackle. So in this raid, the left cover is in the wrong position. It's the right cover and the right corner that are being intimidating, trying to scare the raider into not making an attempt at a bonus line. What I will add is that the right cover I haven't seen them gone for a tackle, and so that means the raider thinks that that they probably won't go for a tackle, so the raider feels like they've got free opportunity to go for hand touches, bonus touches. The left cover should have their feet the other way around, so their left foot should be forwards and their right foot should be back, and that's so they're ready to give cover when the raider goes to the opposite side. Also, it means that if the raider goes for a bonus point, they're able to grab the ankle. Now if the raider is going for the bonus point in between the left in and the left cover, then that means their gap is too wide, and so the left cover should be moving over towards the left in a bit more, and that will close the gap, and then the raider won't go for the bonus point there. You might be like, oh, but what if there's a big gap in between like the left cover and middle? I would argue that if they then go for the bonus point here, the corner and the cover will be like around to make the tackle. So in this raid, the raider knows that the corner behind him won't follow as closely as in the previous example, and so the raider feels like they can make a free attempt at getting a hand touch on this corner. However, the right corner is a bit more active and might like go for the tackle a bit more. So the raider gets like a little bit scared and then goes for the hand touch on the opposite corner, and the opposite corner then just like turns their back and is like backpedaling instead of sidestepping backwards. If the corner is sidestepping backwards, then that means like they can quickly make a tackle if they feel like they're getting touched, but by turning your back, that means that you can't make a tackle because like your body's just in the wrong position. Yeah, so if you watch the right corner here, they will sidestep back and then they will feint as if they're going to make an ankle hold. See, right there? They've feinted as if they're going to make a tackle, and so the raider gets scared. But in this case, the opposite corner is backpedaling, and they're never looking like they're gonna ever make a tackle because their back's turned, they're facing the wrong way, and there's no way they could like attempt an ankle hold. So in this raid, there's a couple of things. So the left in is running backwards, they're not sidestepping backwards. As I highlighted earlier, by sidestepping backwards you can be ready for like an ankle hold, which is what could have happened here. The corner does the right thing and goes backwards by sidestepping, and then is able to make the ankle hold, which is good. The opposite corner, so right corner, should be following the raider more closely, and if so, they would be in a better position to support the tackle. So here, the left in, if they went back using the correct technique, they'd be able to try and grab this leg here, and then the corner would have helped out as well, and then they would have made a successful tackle. And also the right corner should already be here when the raider's already over there. So it's a bit lazy from this pair here because they haven't really moved. But if they were already here, they'd be able to support the tackle. Okay, so that was my review of the London Zone final between KCL and LSE. If you want to see more of these videos, then please let me know.